Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Trader Joe's grocery haul and also chatting a little bit about intentional meal planning and feeding a very active family, which we all four of us have been very active lately, so making sure that we are getting the proper nutrients. So I'm going to share a few meals that I've been loving for breakfast and lunch, and then I'm also going to be talking a little bit about how I grocery shop with the meals that I want to have for the week or two in consideration. So yeah, just chatting a little bit about that today, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Big thanks to one of the sponsors of my channel and this video, Nourish. Nourish is an app. It's an easy way to find and speak to a registered dietitian and have it covered by your insurance. 94% of Nourish patients pay $0 out of pocket. You can match with a registered dietitian and make appointments right inside the app. Having access to a registered dietitian is the best resource for any questions that you might have. And I know it can be overwhelming on the internet, with social media, and with friends to try to build a healthy relationship with food, but a registered dietitian can be an ally and help you with that. Through Nourish, you can have your telehealth visit, meaning you speak to a registered dietitian online via video, and you can message them directly in the app and get instant feedback. I also like that the app allows you to track your macros. For some people, they might not want to do this, but if you want to track your protein, for instance, you can basically either take a picture of your meal or write a description of your meal and it will generate. And it's been very accurate for me, especially when I look at the labels. Today, for instance, I just wrote what I had for breakfast and it registered the macros for me. So it just made streamlining this process much easier. When I met with my dietitian, she recommended 100 grams at least of protein a day. And then you can see the to-do list, some of the goals that she gave me. So it's been a great resource. You can check out Nourish using the link and book your first appointment in under 5 minutes using my link in the description box. So my hope is that Nourish can be a helpful resource for some of you like it's been for me. And I want to start this video by talking about our weekly Trader Joe's grocery store run. We usually do a really big run once a month, and then we have a smaller run once a week. We aren't organized to necessarily have a meal plan for a specific meal on a specific day, but we know the meals that we like, and so we get all of the ingredients. And then we make what we're in the mood for on that particular day. So for instance, we always get whatever fruit we don't have currently growing in the garden, or we don't have enough growing in the garden, we will get at the grocery store. So my kids really like to munch on grapes, bananas, berries like strawberries and blueberries. We got about 5 pounds of blackberries in the garden. So we're not getting blackberries. We did get some beets. So for breakfast and lunch, we usually will have some sort of protein and some fruit on the side. And then for dinner, we will do a protein and a whole grain and then some veggies. So that way we're getting our fruit and veggie servings in. So we make sure to pick up a few different options for breakfast and lunch, and we can create different combinations, and dinner as well. So we also like to get nuts. Me and my husband like to munch on those. The kids, not as much. Like sometimes they'll go for pistachios. They typically like to eat fruit as a snack. They really like nectarines in the summer. We'll do apples and peanut butter, so that's a big one for sure. We always get the crisp Honeycrisp apples. We buy our meat in bulk, so the only thing we get is the ground turkey, and that's usually for tacos, or we'll do like a hash with potatoes. We like the orange chicken, but we don't get a lot from the frozen section, but we do get that with some rice, and we had that with bok choy for dinner. I've been picking up the firm tofu because there's a bowl that I've been making for lunch. I'll share that later in this video. We grab the corn chips. We like those with our chili. So especially in the fall, when it starts to get cooler, we'll eat that a lot more. I always get heart of palm. I love to snack on those. I love to snack on the dolma. I get the white beans for white bean tostadas. We always pick up some salsa and peanut butter, of course. And then we get enough veggies so that every night for dinner, we are either having a veggie or a salad with a protein and a whole grain. So that's the goal. And I really wanted bok choy. So like I showed earlier, we had the orange chicken with jasmine rice and bok choy. Now, my dietitian did recommend switching out jasmine rice for brown rice, but my kids prefer the jasmine. So we usually go for jasmine. In the dairy section, we get cheese to snack on. We also get cheese for sandwiches. My kids like the yogurt, and Byron needed whipping cream for a video he was doing. I think he did a creme brulee. And then I like to snack on hummus. I also like the snap peas. And then we get turkey I pretty much only get turkey at Trader Joe's because I like that they don't put coloring in any of their items, artificial coloring. So most of what I'm pulling out here is going to be for lunches, different lunch options or snacks. I will do the salmon, smoked salmon, which we all like, and we'll do that usually with breakfast. So with poached eggs, I'll show that too a little later in the video. Or salami for sandwiches, but most of this is lunches and snacks around lunches. Now also in the frozen section, we get the potato fries because we like to do smash burgers with potato fries. And then I also like the falafels because I'll do a falafel wrap sometimes in the day for lunch. We do pick up, if we're looking for like a really quick on-the-go lunch that the kids can make themselves, we'll do pizza bites. And then we have popsicles. We have to have popsicles in the summer. If I'm not making sourdough, which I haven't in a minute, I usually start that back up more in the fall and winter. I'm better about that, but they have really good sourdough bread. And then the flatbread is delicious, so we get that as well. My kids like the fruit sauce crushers, so that's a good snack. I like the whole bean coffee in the medium roast, so we'll use that with our espresso machine. And then, yeah, just more fruit. My kids eat so much fruit during the day, and that's typically what they will snack on. Also, we'll do like carrots, avocado. I like to have avocado with breakfast or lunch. And yeah, so kind of like, getting creative with your meals, not necessarily being rigid. We like to have bagels in the morning, but knowing what you like and making sure you have all the ingredients so that you can basically create a plate with a very full plate with your protein, your whole grain, and, a fruit or veggie so you can get your servings in. So I really like poached eggs in the morning. I put a little bit of white vinegar and let that come to a boil, and then I create like a vortex, so it's going round and round. I crack the eggs in there. I do between 3 and 4 eggs so I could get that protein. And again, all of our needs are going to look a little bit different, so that's why I think it's great if you can speak to a dietitian and also just eating intuitively. So I cook those eggs, and I love that. I usually do that with some avocado toast on sourdough. And I also like to add some smoked salmon if we have it. My kids really like that as well. We'll put a little bit of lemon zest. Of course, sometimes I'll go a little fancy with it, but a lot of times I'm just trying to get my breakfast in, and it's not necessarily fancy. Another breakfast that I've been loving lately is mixing some plain yogurt with some either almond butter or peanut butter and mixing that together really nice so it's nice and smooth. And then I have some sourdough toast that I'm going to just brown up here. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to slice some bananas and get those nice and brown as well with a little bit of butter and put the combination of the butter and the plain yogurt on the toast and then those bananas on top of that. So it does have protein and it's really tasty. This could also be a really good special snack if you want, but I've been liking it for breakfast because sometimes you get bored of the same breakfast. You want to switch it up and have something. I also think I got this recipe from a Olympic diver that I started following after the Olympics last year, and this is one of her favorite recipes because it has that protein, but it's also a really good option for just kind of like a boost of energy because of that banana too. So I don't add any sugar or anything, although you could if you wanted to, but I just brown it up with the butter and it's super tasty. One thing I like to make for a quick lunch or a snack from Trader Joe's, they have these hummus veggie wraps. Instead of buying that, I just got all of the ingredients to make it myself. So the flatbread, some hummus. I love to snack on hummus with carrots or even pretzels. I just really love hummus and this hummus in particular. But I'm going to put some veggies in there. I could also do falafels. I could throw the falafels in the air fryer and put those in there. I could add protein in here if I want to, but today I'm just going to do the veggie wrap because I was craving that when I came home from Trader Joe's. And usually when I come home, I like to munch on the dolma, and I made a veggie wrap as a snack. So because of how active I have been lately, much more than I ever have been, I need to make sure that and that's why I wanted to meet with a dietitian because all of our needs are going to be very different, but I need to make sure I am really eating enough and enough of everything. I am getting my protein, my carbs, my fiber, the whole grains, the fat, all of it, So that has been really helpful to make sure that I am getting a full plate. Another thing that I've been really liking, I don't have a ton of tofu, but I've had a real craving for tofu lately. So I get the firm tofu from Trader Joe's. And I've been making a bowl. What I do is I take sweet potatoes, which I love, packed with a lot of nutrients, and the tofu, and I put them all on one sheet pan. I'm going to put some blackened seasoning. It's a combination of a few different seasonings. I will put that in the description. And I like to cover the tofu and the sweet potatoes with that. A little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put that in the oven at 400 degrees and cook that until it's cooked all the way through. And then I'm going to make a bowl. I used to call this like the healthy belly bowl because back when I lived in California, I would go to a restaurant that had a bowl similar to this, and they called it the healthy belly bowl. And the reason why is because they put sauerkraut in it, and sauerkraut has those probiotics good for your gut. So I like to put some avocado in there, some sauerkraut, and then I make a homemade dressing that has a little bit, it's like citrusy. So I really like this for lunch. This also makes a good dinner. It just kind of depends. But yeah, that's something I will often throw together as a quick lunch. My kids aren't really a fan of this, but I really like it. So yeah, obviously every week looks a little bit different. We kind of have our go-to meals. And I was thinking of sharing more of these types of videos, especially how to like meal ideas for your kids who are athletes, because my kids need to be eating, well, all of us need to be making sure that we're nourishing our bodies. We're focusing on rest and recovery with how active we've been. So anyway, I thought I would share this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Nourish, for being a sponsor of my channel. Be sure to check it out using the link in my description. And yeah, I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.